right, we are in Geneva, Italy, Bern, Geneva, France tomorrow. We're making it happen.
I think it's a great car.
3 years chasing this.
So this week's video is very cool because it gives you guys a really good look at the behind the scenes. And it's not just me chasing cars, but Herschel from our team, who I've known now, imagine almost 20 years, has put together some of the most incredible deals of curated. But one of the cars that I think is so important and really just so special, and you guys are gonna get to see behind the scenes of chasing probably one or two of the lowest mileage examples in the world, is the Ferrari 288 GTO. And it's Ferrari's first supercar of its kind. It's a car that's so special. There's a great video that we had done, and I had such a blast driving this 288 GTO because it's just such a special car in some ways, and it's almost as fast as an F40. I've even heard people say it's faster. But the GTO is just so elegant and beautiful. It's understated, and it's so rare. You're talking about less, I think it's 271 produced for the world. And really at the time, a car that was certified for FIA Group B. So a car that just really was so incredible, so pushing the boundaries for Ferrari, and would later evolve into the 288 GTO Evolution, and then later the F40. On our journey, I don't know how many Ferrari supercars we've sold. I think we've sold, maybe 15 F50s. We've sold, I think, at least 10 Enzos, a ton of LaFerraris, but 288 GTOs are just so rare, and I believe we've sold 8 or 9, maybe 10 cars. But the 2 cars on today's video are probably 2 of the best in the world. One is believed to be the best and the lowest mileage. So enjoy as Herschel takes you on one of his personal pursuits and journeys.
And we're heading up to Bern, Switzerland, to look at a 288 GTO that we're purchasing. And interestingly enough, in the last 3 years, I think we've been able to identify, purchase, and then ultimately sell probably 3 of the lowest mileage 288s in the world. Maybe a year and a half before, we did a 600-mile car to Germany, and now this vehicle is a 900-mile two-owner car. And a couple of months ago, we purchased the 99-mile 288 GTO out of Abu Dhabi.
It's been 3 years. I've been on this car for 3 years, and was finally able to buy it. It was almost becoming like mythical. We didn't really know if we could buy it, or if it truly existed, or if it was verifiable. I think now we've verified the lowest mileage 288 GTO in the world. We actually had Ferrari go out and inspect it for us a few weeks ago, and they said it was remarkable. So I'm really super excited about this. A lot of times you find a car, you chase them, you lose them. Sometimes you just go in there and buy something quick, but to chase something for 3 years and finally be able to buy it and get it delivered is pretty awesome.
What? Well, how's it have to get done? We'll just pump the slate back up and put it away. It's a bolt that's never been turned.
So I'm running out of adjectives, I think, to explain my emotions and how I feel about this car. I mean, the first thing I would say is remarkable. I think the most overused word in this industry is time capsule, but this is truly a time capsule. As much as we go and chase these cars, and we always think that the next car is the best one. It's probably one of the cars that you can kind of stick your flag in and say this is probably one of the best of the best. You never want to say that you got to the top of the mountain, because then you stop climbing. But for the 288, I think I'm going to break my rule and say this is the top of the mountain. It's truly the lowest mileage, and from a preservation standpoint, really kudos to the owners beforehand, because they really paid attention to the detail of keeping the car truly original. The other things that are really incredible that you'll never see, even on the really low mileage stuff, is there's no heat cycling, obviously, because the car only has 99 miles, but all the original anchor marks from the factory showing these bolts have never been turned. Most of the bolts are facing in the right direction, meaning they've never been turned. There's a factory tag on the wastegate, meaning it's never been opened and adjusted. So this is truly a virgin car, so to speak, or a time capsule, as we keep saying. So just these little details are things you probably would only see in 1985, and then you found yourself a time machine and brought it back to now, this is what you'd see. So it's really incredible. I'm not going to forget this day, and I'll never forget this car, but on to the next one. So far, he's right.
A little bit of delamination on the windshield, but that's kind of to be expected on these cars.
Yeah, I had a 500-mile car that the piston had a hole in it just from the water system.
And the big job was to remove the cylinder heads.
Yeah.
The bolts, and the head was completely corroded. Slowly, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it took so long. So, yeah.
Sometimes people don't know the difference between storage or preservation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They store but don't preserve.
Yeah.
So you tell these are original. You see how there's a little different shading between here and here?
Yeah.
So that's from the factory. It's not like a sun bleaching like people think.
Oh, really?
So you can't really, when you replace these and they're like super red, you could tell they've been replaced. This is the original. There's like a shading difference that happens. The material they use today is going to be more vibrant. It's going to be a little bit more kind of artificial. So
Yeah.
it's all one color, but that's how you could tell that this car is 100% original interior. Well, a lot of these cars are radio delete. This has the original Blaupunkt in it. I think it's a great car. I mean, it's as expected for a 900-mile car. I think, like I said, a lot of people don't know the difference between storage and preservation. So these cars put away for a while, it's sat. But overall, the condition's great. I think the rubber and all of the materials that tend to degrade are in very good condition. There's a little bit of delaminating on the windshield, but I think that's to be expected. You even see that on cars that are a little better preserved. But after the service and then some paint correction, you have a really, really nice 900-mile car.
The engine will be finished in the next couple of 1 or 2 days, 2-3 days, and then they will and put it in, and then the car is soon ready to go.
I need like 2 to 3 days maximum to have money. So just give me 4 or 5 days and I'll have the money waiting for it.